Thanks for joining us on Tandem Radio for a very special segment, By Design, focused on helping you understand how God designed you so that you may be healthy and productive in fulfilling God's purposes in your life for many years to come. Now let's join our host, health expert and public speaker, Dr. James Proodian.
Welcome to the By Design radio program. My name is Dr. James Proodian of Proodian Healthcare and ProodianHealthcare.com, where health literacy is the key to longevity. And as long as God has us on this side of eternity, my show is designed to help you and your families, to educate you and your families, to help you feel better, function better, and live as many quality disease-free years as possible. Thanks for joining me this week. Real exciting last week. Got a lot of feedback both in my office from people who see me at the office as well as through email on the subject matter of immune. It seems as though this foundational block really has touched a chord in a lot of people. And I think it's because, and this got me really excited, that the show is designed to be cumulative. And I know we hate that word cumulative. We remember back in school where the teacher would say, this is going to be a cumulative exam. And we sort of shuddered, which means we had to study from the start of the class to the end of the class. But I'm not going to make you take a test. It's just that I chose to do immune now we're at show 35. After I did shows on detoxification, stress, nutrition, digestion. It's because we're actually building something here. So immune, structural health, and fatigue will be the last three foundational blocks of the 8 that I do. And they'll be laid out over the next 12 or 15 shows. But the immune, as we get into today, those of you who have been keeping up with me from show 1, or please go to tandemradio.com, go to the By Design tab, and you could go through the archived shows. And when you go through the archived shows, you're going to see that today's show is going to repeat a lot of what we've already established, because repetition is the finest form of learning. And if I taught you something on detoxification maybe 10 weeks ago, it's not that we want to forget detoxification, but today you're going to start seeing how, when we're going to conclude immune today, you're going to see how detoxification and nutrition and digestion all are part of immune, because these are not 8 separate foundational subject matters. They are all interlinked into our design, because our design is a complicated one. That's why we have a designer, and it is a design that's integrated, which is why when you look at someone, for instance, when I get into structural health in a few weeks, who has back pain or shoulder pain, many times it could be a manifestation of inflammation from the foods that they're eating. So the type of work that I do and many practitioners are doing are connecting the whole being together. Our Bible verse, Luke 1:37, for with God nothing is impossible. And that means in my world, through the power of education, that by just looking at the way God designed us with the literal science that we have at our hands and this amazing complex design of human anatomy and physiology, my show hopefully is enlightening you to make some changes in your life through understanding what his design was really meant to be, through the triad of health: physical, nutritional, and psychological. I just want to take a second and thank everyone at Advantage Career Institute. They're over in Eatontown, and also the YMCA in Red Bank. This past week I did seminars at both of these locations. I have been public speaking for 20 years, and as much as I really enjoy my radio show, I truly enjoy being in front of groups of people, seeing their reaction. This past week at Advantage Career Institute, just a lot of great facial expressions of acknowledgement and turning on those light bulbs of things that we may understand a little bit, and hopefully I enable the audiences to take the ball and now run with it to make the changes in their lives based upon God's design. So let's dive into where we left off on immune. The last place we left off were, what were the things that we want to empower our immune system? We went over the anatomy, we went over the physiology of what the immune system is. We talked about sleep, sedentary lifestyle, poor nutritional status, poor antioxidant status, excessive toxic chemical exposure, and stress as being pieces of the overall arching what is impeding my immune system so it is not empowered. We want an empowered, strong immune system. This immune system is critical from its perspective to help our bodies not only feel better, function better, live longer, but more importantly, dictate how sick we get, how often we get sick, and also preventing those autoimmune diseases. So the things that we can do every day in our life, remember, health literacy is the key to longevity. Let's start with sleep. I just rattled off about 6 things that we're going to talk about. Hormonal balance, immune chemistry, and our metabolic machinery and sleep are all tied together in a complex web of biochemical interactions. Now, that was a quote from MD PhD. He was the founder of the world's first sleep disorder clinic in Stanford University in 1970. So hormonal imbalance, we talked about during our stress seminars, immune chemistry, metabolic machinery, and sleep are all tied together in this biochemistry that happens to us while we sleep. And the thing with sleep is the quality and the quantity, not just the quantity, but the quality of our sleep is critical. If we're not getting good quality or quantity of sleep, we're going to increase stress hormones. We're going to reduce cellular repair. Many people don't realize that our bodies repair while we sleep. It's a self-correcting organism we have here. I mean, God designed us so that when we go to sleep, our bodies go to a different metabolic rate, so we are repairing all of the abuse and damage that happened to this organism while we were awake. We also decrease growth hormone when we're not getting good quality sleep, which is a bad thing. We're going to reduce, remember we talked about the killer cells. Last week we talked about our bodies already being equipped with killer cells. And these killer cells, which are part of our white blood cell system, go out and kill the bad guys. If we're not getting good quality sleep, these killer cell number go down. And finally, we reduce cellular energy if we're not getting good quality quantity sleep. So to improve our sleep, let's all do these things. Let's get consistent sleep-wake cycles. Let's go to bed around the same time every night and wake up around the same time every morning. We're not in college anymore. We're not going to class in the afternoon, grabbing some sleep, staying up until 3 in the morning. Let's sleep 8 to 9 solid, good quality hours a day. We want to improve the environment that we sleep in. I know you ladies are great at the expensive duvet covers and the nice pillowcases. Most guys don't really care too much, but those types of things are very important, that we're creating a nice environment. We're going to reduce stress. We shouldn't be watching TV on those 80, 100-inch TV sets right up until the point we fall asleep. After dinner, walk outside, particularly this time of the year with our children. Let's get to meet our neighbors, to talk, to walk, to play, to breathe fresh air, and do those types of things to reduce the stress throughout our day. We want dietary considerations. We don't want to be drinking or eating stimulating foods like caffeine late in the day. So we want to take diet and also regular exercise. And of course, no alcohol and no caffeine. That's just a no-brainer, as these things will greatly impede our sleep quality. So the next one is sedentary lifestyle. We all should know by now that a sedentary lifestyle adversely affects our health in many ways. Fundamentally, it does this by creating a state of deconditioning in the body. This means becoming weak and out of shape systematically. And I love the word systematically because that means all of our body systems, endocrine system, musculoskeletal, nervous, digestion, go down the list, in a sedentary lifestyle are going to become weak and out of shape. Hopefully, everyone out there realizes that a sedentary lifestyle promotes the chronic degenerative diseases such as obesity, high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, lowered resistance, lowered energy state. So let's get out of that sedentary lifestyle and let's start getting some regular moderate exercise. It's going to optimize our inflammatory responses. It's going to optimize our body composition. That means decreasing body fat, increasing the density of our bones, increasing muscle mass. We're also going to enhance cellular repair, which keeps us from, that's a good thing because we don't want cellular damage in our body. We want moderate exercise tempers the stress hormones. It improves cellular metabolism. It also enhances growth hormone output, which once again is a hormone that's very important. So this regular moderate exercise, getting out of the sedentary lifestyle, is going to empower the immune specific responses. Let's go over to nutrition. Now, we spent a lot of time on nutrition. Those so common nutritional habits that can adversely affect our health and our immune power. Overconsumption of processed sugar and starches, saturated and trans fats, artificial man-made food, nutrient-depleted food like white flour that has no nutritional value, or white rice that has been milled and all of the good stuff has been taken out of it. Underconsumption of whole nutrient-rich foods, that is critical. We want to eat nutrient-dense foods like kale, for instance, which is a wonderful nutrient-dense dark green leafy vegetable. We want to consume healthy fats like olive oil and flaxseed oil. We want to get rid of the mazola and the hydrogenated corn oil, and also the high fructose corn syrup that they've saturated into our food supply. And obviously, everyone be hydrated. Let's not live in a dehydrated state. Nutrition and immune, the overconsumption, overburden of our body's normally efficient and effective process of detoxification is greatly impeded when we're eating these bad types of foods. So if we're not naturally detoxifying, that's through our liver, go back to the earlier shows on detoxification, that's going to allow toxins to recirculate in our body because the liver cannot excrete them at the rate they're coming in. Those recirculating toxins make us sick. It really, I'm giving you very basic stuff here, but it really is or can be thought of that simple. We do not want recirculating toxins as they deplete our natural antioxidant defenses and they render our cells and our membranes more susceptible to energy depletion and damage. Everything goes back to that cell, and that's what's very, very important. We don't want to starve the cell. We don't want to damage those cells. At the end of the day, we're only as healthy as the state of our cells. So we want to hydrate our body. We want to reduce the processed food, the starches. We want to replenish ourselves with nutrient-rich foods like fresh vegetables, greens, fruits, nuts like walnuts are wonderful, and lean proteins. So we're going to do healthy things. We're going to consume healthy fats like fish oil, olive oil, walnut, and flax oil are all wonderful. Portion control, particularly with caloric dense foods. You want to time your meals throughout your day so you're not eating 3 large meals a day. I don't know who invented breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but I certainly didn't, and I know God didn't, because we were meant to be eating small, frequent meals throughout our day. And we want, if we're going to supplement with supplements, they do not take the place of food. It's always food first, supplementation second. Okay, so let's continue. We want to avoid, obviously, cigarette smoking, drugs, alcohol. We want this to just not consume any of those products. We want to be careful of the pollutions, repetitive or excessive toxic exposure. We do not want to be secreting stress hormones, and I'm not going to have time today to get into the stress hormone secretion, but if you remember the thyroid to the adrenal gland, the fight or flight, please go to drproodian.com, which is my blog site. You could become a member. I blog every Wednesday. I've done a few blogs on stress and stress hormones. I highly, highly recommend you read those. We want to avoid a poor diet, and we want to get, again, rid of the untempered stress, because when our coping system is not fatigued or diseased, our physical bodies are efficient at handling acute stress. However, the chronic stress that is left untempered, that's day-to-day stress that we're not doing anything about, significantly impacts our resistance to cope with daily stress. Guys, we don't want to be playing around with that stress response. Okay, so enough on that, and we can move on to kind of ending the show and what we're going to do, enhancing your immune function. Okay, so we're going to temper those stress responses, go for the walks after dinner, get a massage once in a while. If you haven't tried acupuncture, I highly recommend it for tempering stress. Get into, hopefully everybody listening to me, and if you're not, get into a good prayer group, get into a Bible study, go to church, pray. These are all wonderful ways to just temper that stress response. We're going to look at healthy macronutrients like eating high quality protein choices. Next week, I'm going to be doing a show on meat and fats and how man has polluted over the last 200 years our meat supply, and meat today doesn't resemble meat from 200 years ago. So if you want to come back for that, I'll see you next week on that. We really want to look at wholesome, unprocessed carbohydrates, again, healthy fats. We want to practice kindness. We want to get good quality sleep, make it a priority to get sleep, and laugh. Yeah, laugh. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. Find time every day to do something that is meaningful to you, whether it's playing an instrument. Get away from the TV. Stop listening to the garbage so much that is out there that is just infecting our stress responses. Remember, that's what they want to do on those shows. We want to make sure that our bodily defenses are really strong. We want to also keep the germs out of our house. So clean your phone, clean your keyboard, stay away from infected people at the office, keep your desk, your microwave handle, your telephone, wipe it down, keep everything clean, wash your hands often, okay? Keep the sanitizer next to your desk to keep your hands clean. And remember, be careful of those coworkers. Staying away from infectious agents is essential. Drink at least 8 glasses of water a day. No soda, no coffee, or a very limited amount, definitely no soda, limited amount of coffee a day. Stay hydrated. Drink that water, especially when you get up in the morning. Remember, like I shared with you, we wake up dehydrated. We want to hydrate once we get up. Guys, thank you so much for listening to the immune portion of this show. We're going to conclude immune today. If you have any questions, please email me. And thank you for listening to the By Design radio program. Please go to ProodianHealthcare.com. Submit any questions you may have for the show. And please become a blog member. God bless you and have a wonderful week.
You've been listening to By Design with Dr. James Proodian of Proodian Healthcare. To learn more, visit us at tandemradio.com. That's tandemradio.com, or on Facebook. And don't forget to email us with your questions. We'd love to hear from you. In the meantime, hope you have a healthy week, and we look forward to you joining us next time for more fantastic insights from Dr. James Proodian on By Design, a special production of Tandem Radio.